What is déjà vu? Déjà vu is a peculiar sensation where an individual feels that the present moment is eerily familiar, as if it has been experienced before, sparking a sense of already seen. Examples: familiar surroundings in a new context. Meeting someone for the first time but feeling like you've met them before. Experiencing a sequence of events that seems preordained. Hearing a conversation that feels like a replay. Visiting a new place that feels strangely familiar. Participating in an activity that triggers a strong sense of déjà vu. Reading a passage in a book that creates a sensation of having read it before. What is synesthesia? Synesthesia is a fascinating perceptual phenomenon where stimulation of one sensory or cognitive pathway leads to involuntary experiences in another, causing a blending of sensations that is not typical. Examples: hearing music and seeing vibrant colors simultaneously. Associating specific tastes with different words or sounds. Seeing numbers as having distinct personalities or colors. Feeling textures in response to specific scents. Perceiving shapes and colors with certain tastes. Associating emotions with specific smells. Seeing patterns or colors triggered by specific words. What are hypnagogic and hypnopompic hallucinations? Hypnagogic hallucinations occur during the transition from wakefulness to sleep, involving vivid and often surreal sensory experiences. Hypnopompic hallucinations, on the other hand, occur during the transition from sleep to wakefulness, similarly presenting vivid and often dreamlike sensory perceptions. Examples: seeing colorful patterns when closing the eyes to sleep. Hearing voices or music during the early stages of sleep. Feeling a sensation of floating or flying. Imagining vivid scenes or landscapes. Experiencing tactile sensations like floating or falling. Seeing flashes of light while transitioning to sleep. Encountering fantastical creatures or objects in a half-asleep state. What is the Capgras Delusion? Capgras Delusion is a psychiatric disorder where an individual, despite recognizing faces, believes that a close friend, family member, or even themselves has been replaced by an identical-looking imposter. Examples: believing a sibling has been replaced by an imposter. Thinking a spouse is not the real person but a doppelganger. Feeling certain that a parent has been substituted by a look-alike. Believing one's own reflection is an imposter in the mirror. Convincing oneself that a close friend is an identical imposter. Misidentifying children as replicas rather than genuine offspring. Suspecting that colleagues are imposters rather than real co-workers. What is the Cotard Delusion? Cotard Delusion is a rare psychiatric condition where individuals firmly believe that they are dead, do not exist, or have lost their internal organs, despite evidence to the contrary. Examples: believing one's heart has stopped beating. Convincing oneself that internal organs are missing. Firmly holding the belief of being deceased. Thinking one's body is decomposing. Believing that life functions have ceased to exist. Convinced of being a walking corpse. Firmly holding the belief of having lost all vital organs. What is pareidolia? Pareidolia is a perceptual phenomenon where the human mind interprets random stimuli, such as patterns, shapes, or sounds, as familiar or meaningful entities, often leading to the recognition of faces or objects where none exist. Examples: seeing faces in clouds or patterns. Recognizing shapes in random arrangements of objects. Finding images in natural formations like rocks or tree bark. Perceiving familiar shapes in inkblot tests. Hearing voices or music in white noise. Identifying patterns in random data or static. seeing human faces in inanimate objects, like cars or buildings. What is the Fregoli Delusion? Fregoli Delusion is a rare psychiatric disorder where individuals firmly believe that various people around them are actually the same person in disguise, despite clear evidence to the contrary. Examples: believing different strangers are a single familiar individual in disguise. Thinking coworkers are all the same person with altered appearances. Convinced that friends and family are consistently masquerading. Family holding the belief that multiple acquaintances are a singular person. Believing various individuals in public are a single person in different forms. Identifying different people on the street as one persistent imposter. Thinking that different characters on TV or in movies are portrayed by the same actor. What is eidetic memory? Eidetic memory, often referred to as photographic memory, is an exceptional ability where an individual can vividly recall images, sounds, or objects with great detail after only a brief exposure. Examples: recalling intricate details of a complex visual scene. Memorizing lengthy passages of text after a single reading. Remembering precise colors and patterns of objects. Instantly recalling a list of items or numbers. Memorizing a map with intricate details after a brief glance. Recalling the exact sequence of events in a past experience. Memorizing a piece of music after hearing it only once. What is the Savant Syndrome? Savant Syndrome is a rare condition where individuals with developmental or intellectual disabilities demonstrate extraordinary abilities, often excelling in specific areas such as mathematics, music, art, or memory, despite limitations in other cognitive functions. Examples: mastering complex mathematical calculations effortlessly. Creating intricate and detailed artistic works with precision. Playing musical instruments with exceptional skill and accuracy. Memorizing vast amounts of information with ease. Demonstrating advanced abilities in calendar calculation. Excelling in language-related tasks, such as learning multiple languages. Displaying an exceptional capacity for spatial reasoning or navigation. What is an out-of-body experience? An out-of-body experience, or OBE, is a dissociative phenomenon where an individual perceives their consciousness as being detached from the physical body, often experiencing a sensation of floating or hovering outside themselves. Examples: floating above one's own body during meditation. Experiencing a sense of detachment during a near-death encounter. Feeling an out-of-body sensation during sleep paralysis. Having an OBE during a psychedelic or hallucinogenic experience. Witnessing one's own actions from an external perspective. Experiencing a sensation of floating or flying above the surroundings. Feeling a separation of consciousness from the physical body.